So I finished the Final Fantasy ever made, and somehow it wasn't. It was Final Fantasy XVI. Yeah, I'm as surprised as you. But in order to help decide whether or not the game is worth playing today, or if you just want to pretend to know everything about it without having to spend any money, I've condensed a bajillion hours of into whatever minutes of the fastest, most efficient Let's Play review you ever watch. Because I know you got shit to do, you stupid bitch. Just stay dead, you're ruining the story. Why do games do this? It's like booting up a CD when somebody left gum in your disk drive. Oh shit, it really broke my Microsoft PlayStation. Now it just took a long time because I guess the game was re-rendering all this pre-rendered bombastic kaiju fight in the background, which leads to Final Fantasy XVI, opening with a practically shot-for-shot recreation of the Balrog fight from Lord of the Rings. Which, if you're finding confusing as rest assured was by design, because modern Final Fantasy only knows one kind of opening, and that is in medias res, since it worked out so well for the prettiest Super Saiyan in 1997. It's actually about this guy, a brooding pretty boy swordsman of few words who, I guess that doesn't narrow it down too much, but at least he isn't named after an annoying bird. See, with the way titles came up, I thought that guy's name was Yoshitaka Amano, and then they peed on their fire with their hands and picked up camp. All to observe a battle in progress with these guys who don't really matter because, hang on, have to listen to well-dressed people yelling at each other in a room while some lady can't pretend to give two shits about the real threat of smoke causing lung cancer, because the average age of survival is like 23, so might as well just have rough, dirty peasant sex all the time while everything is smeared in shit because Square just learned enough English to be able to read the terrible novelization of the popular Game of Thrones TV series.
You are a lion.
What's wrong, my lion?
Take the van.
Did you mean, or... Okay, so the reason I said all these guys don't matter, and credit where it's due, this is actually a very interesting idea, is that the traditional Final Fantasy summons are basically feudal WMDs bound to human hosts and whipped out in a metaphorical dick-slapping contest whenever the illiterate nations go to war with each other. Do I still have to censor the swearing when it's in Japanese? And then the main character died and the game ended. No, he didn't, I'm just kidding, because as it turns out, the Balrog fight was a memory which then transitioned into an in medias res opening that led into a playable memory which forms the prologue of the game. I honestly think Square is just trying to confuse J.R.R. Tolkien's copyright lawyers at this point. Oh right, his name is Clive. What the f*** is that up there?
Oh, vile words, lovely.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding about copyright lawyers because this is blatantly a foreign adaptation of A Song of Ice and Fire at this point because, Your Honor, evidence 1. Evil mom with vast political ambitions, inability to connect with her dark-haired son, and consistent frontrunner for bitchiest bitch whoever bitched. Bitch! Out of here, I'm presenting evidence to the court. Evidence 2, Ned Stark. Evidence 3, a dog.
I say to speak.
Keep groveling, you morons. When are you gonna understand if you don't fight for your rights, you don't deserve to have any?
Now we see the violence inherent in the system.
I mean, not much of a choice here. Either press the button or turn the game off and go play with my children.
Good luck.
Who is she again?
Alright, you can stop licking my boots. Your mother isn't here.
But you really should reconsider licking hers because that's what I do.
The Blight has taken an eye on all of the northern reaches.
Oh shit, this is an adaptation of Game of Ice and Fire. It's a Japanese remake of the original Dragon Age originals.
It is time to prove your strength. And shut your mother up for good.
It's the best I can do because Henry VIII hasn't invented legal divorce yet. Hell hath no fury like a sexually unfulfilled woman in an age without battery-powered rumble packs. So the story of the prologue to the actual story is that of the king, or whatever, going off to war while his bitch wife plots to kill him, and his eldest son is being sent off to murder some minorities who probably don't deserve it, that being how you prove your worth in whatever dark fantasy medieval world this is. No, I wasn't kidding, just look at me stab this guy in the dick repeatedly, so daddy will love me again. And on the gameplay front, I'm happy to report, despite telling the game I'm a veteran of both Final Fantasy and games where you stab monsters in the dick, it still tries to tempt me into outright cheating for some reason. Although I will admit I had a little shiver as the familiar battle theme piped up.
Bloody hell!
And swiftly lost my boner again when I realized any semblance of challenge was being substituted for QTEs and bad writing.
I think we made it angry. I'd rather we made it die.
People had nothing to do back in the Dark Ages. It was either rampant alcoholism or throwing sticks into a can.
Louder, my friends! Louder!
In wine. Spare a barrel for you boys and people.
Yes, we're doing the Red Wedding.
What in the...
Your room is gonna smell when you don't have flushing toilets. You know, it's telling when the pixel sprites on the save screen exhibit more character than their extravagantly rendered counterparts. Anyways, everybody is killed, including the pets.
Winds speed you to Rosalind.
Look at this shithead. I'm over here playing a dark, gritty, realistic fantasy RPG, and he thinks he's in a Final Fantasy game or something. And then somebody broke Clive's Bluetooth earbuds. Told you. And then Ned Stark dies, as is tradition, which leads directly into the awakening of latent mutant genes in the younger, prettier son, which indirectly causes the older, slightly less prettier son to also turn Super Saiyan, which then leads into the kaiju fight we saw at the beginning of the game before the prologues flash forward to the present. But my only takeaway from the story at this point is, if this guy only kept his mouth shut and pretended to be dead, he wouldn't have been stabbed. Yeah, I was the bitch. She's the traitor.
Bitch! Welcome back.
Okay, so now we're finally caught up. Square wants to make sure the game is totally worth $80 because you have to squeeze through this spot.
In what? Pizza!
Our fortunes have turned, Sergeant. It's her.
And it turns out they're all mutant hunters.
Lost.
And it turns out the mutant they were hunting was... Seriously, who is she? I'm honestly not sure at any point up until now anybody even told me her name. And of course, Clive turns face because she's very pretty, but he's outnumbered until... I really like this map. Too bad it's not actually used for much. Fucking apple polisher. This guy is Sid. This iteration of Sid is basically what the black guy was in 7. As the leader of a terrorist cell, which Clive as Cloud also.
This doesn't mean I'm joining you.
Don't do any of these, they're pointless. Fucking mosquitoes. Square still doesn't know how to make action games, don't even bother. Why the f didn't you just do that at the start? In medieval times, women had to be bitches to survive. I honestly don't know why they spent effort making QTEs for trash mobs. So the terrorist cell goes around freeing slaves and, yeah, none of these matters much either. How do you not see them? They're right there. Basically, horny bitches are the only way to get ahead in 2024. Look, this game is totally AAA, okay? And in the process of freeing slaves, we learned that Sid and the bitch were once f***ing, so now she's really angry at him because he broke up with her over text or something and decides to take it out on, well, me and my dog. And we beat the shit out of a literal harpy because the game really wants to make sure you understand the symbolism, and everybody swears a lot because Final Fantasy is now for adults and not stupid kids who cry at operas. And Clive discovers he has the asshole superpower of stealing other people's Pokemon.
Give her back.
With an enduring mystery of a hooded figure who seems to be present at all important narrative events while the other bitch, holy shit.
He ain't gonna be in Rush Hour 3.
I estimate at least 30% of this game's runtime is the slow ass running over vast open spaces. What follows is finally for realsies the last fight with the Harpy that has something like 9 stages before everybody transforms into elemental kaijus, which I still think is a very interesting idea, but which, despite being the main theme of the story, is scarcely explored in any meaningful way. Bitch dies, meanwhile these guys... Look man, just go home. Petition your local government to hold sanctioned steel cage matches between your respective summons and their hosts, and buy pay-per-view tickets instead.
Please! Please!
Am I not wearing any pants? 20% of this game is also just using excessive particle effects to kill mosquitoes.
But if it wasn't for you two, my sniffing days would be over.
Sniffing what? The shit that's covering everything? Okay, that guy is his brother. Remember him, the little shit? And she's still, I don't know, his sister? His wife? His sister wife?
This breeze. The smell of the grass.
Grass smells like shit.
Oi! Stop and give me an hand.
Nope.
The Lord Marquis and Jill too.
Oh, her name is Jill, finally. So upon returning to his homeland to find out the truth of who obviously killed his obviously still alive brother, Clive is given his father's armor and exchanges sensible artistic design for a male prostitute's version of Dracula's cape from Castlevania, with a huge slutty boob window on the front to show off all that man cleavage. And then he stepped in more shit.
This is the Hall of the Gate.
The gate.
I'm with you, Jill. What the f is that? Hall of the Gate? That's like saying stairs of the door. Or foot in your literate ass. And we go through this massive ancient cavern basement that was apparently here all this time, only to learn that, yes, it was Clive. Clive was the monster at the beginning of the game's prologue. No, really, that was the big twist. I thought, you know, we already knew that from both f***ing times you made us play through the whole glorified cinematic. Only for Clive to apparently miss the point because he's too stupid of a handsome himbo to connect the very obvious, glowing, particle effects filled narrative dots together until now. And when he finally does, it's apparent that just freeing slaves isn't a sustainable model for a small business because people would, you know, want to live in shit.
That you wanted to build a place where people could die on their own terms.
I did.
I've been thinking about that. Why not a place where people can live on their own terms?
And copyright lawyers be damned, we're going for open rebellion now and looking to get some payback from Mommy, which is curiously apt considering Sid apparently spends his free time chasing down Lilith in Sanctuary.
I pay a visit to Mother.
Join me next time to you know what? I can't get this door open.
We have arrived.
So you like wastelands and cowboys and alternative history, eh? Well, it just so happens I also write books. Genuine novels with plot and characters, and this one is available now on Amazon about an alternate World War II Pacific theater that is like Firefly mixed with Inglourious Basterds.
See how feeders into your Nazi boss.
And I also have a Patreon now where if you subscribe, you get DRM free versions of the same books as soon as they come out. Why? Because I like money. Also because I'm posting entertainment opinions on YouTube, so frankly, I should have done this years ago because you know I'm completely without capability for shame.